And hello, Toy Story fans, and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host, Jonathan. Once again, bringing you my thoughts and movie review for the brand new Pixar film, Toy Story 5, starring Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, and Jodie Coleman, I believe. I probably butchered it. I apologize. Anyway, Toy Story's back. Oh my God. It's been what, 30 plus years since Toy Story came out? I think it was 10 or 9 when the first one came out. OMG, Toy Story's back. This time our gang is now dealing with the fact that they got to go up against a new threat to their existence, and that's technology, laptops, iPads, all that stuff. Technology is now finally found its way in Bonnie's house in a thing called LilyPad. So LilyPad is, the new toy in town, in a way. So before I begin giving my review, gotta say congratulations to everybody involved in the film. It takes forever to make a movie, obviously, or a TV show, depending on what you're watching. And also, where's our trailer, Marvel? I will continue saying this until Marvel releases the Doomsday trailer. Okay, so Toy Story 5. This movie, when I heard they were gonna make another one, I was like, all right, what else can they do, right? Who's going to leave the town? Who's going to leave the toy team this time? Last time it was Woody. He had his own purpose. He served his purpose, and now he moved on. And now he's a free guy to help other abandoned toys. So now he's off doing what he can with Bo Peep. So now he gave his sheriff badge to Jessie to run the house and take care of Bonnie. And boy, does she have a big task at hand. She's got to deal with this little thing called LilyPad, who's taken over not only Bonnie's house, but other kids around the neighborhood as well. Bonnie, still plays with her toys, which is a good thing. We want Bonnie to play with her toys, but when technology kind of blocks her from making friends and playing with the toys, she gets her own device and kind of gets consumed over it by paying attention to the tablet instead of the toys. And Jessie's got to find a way to get Bonnie away from the tablet and to play with toys and also make a friend as well, and trying to have friends. Okay, so that's basically the gist of this film. This movie's great. Honestly, when I heard they were gonna make a movie about technology versus toys, I was like, how are they going to do this? They did this magnificently, and the way they do it is so pulls on the heartstrings. It's just like, you watching this movie and you watching Bonnie just go through the motions in this movie, and it's great. First of all, we don't want Bonnie to ever feel emotional bad. We want her to feel happy and joyful and be a kid and be awesome. We don't want her ever being kind of bullied in a way. And you see this tablet taking over her life, and she just you see that free spirit that Bonnie is kind of drift away from the toys, because that's what she was when we first meet Bonnie. Sunny daycare. She was a sweet, shy little girl who just loves playing with toys. And then when Andy gave up her toys, she became more graceful for who she was. She was blossoming into a young girl who loves playing with her toys. But now that this tablet's there, it's trying to kind of suck the life out of her in a way and trying to move her away from toys and going into the computer world. I mean, a lot of parents can deal with that, or uncles or aunts. I am an uncle, so I see that too. So, it does happen. So, but, as parents, and, you got to find a way to try to have your kid balance both, I guess. But the way Jessie and the team got to figure out a way to deal with this tablet is crazy. And then Woody shows up just to help out as much as he can. And then chaos goes into suit when Jessie kind of gets into a situation where she can find closure in her life from her past, because she's starting to see the resemblance of Emily and Bonnie coming together. And now she's got to try to figure out how to stop one thing by finishing one door, closing one door to be able to close another door, if you get my drift. Excuse me. But yeah, this movie had everything I wanted. This movie had humor, laughs, the Buzz Lightyear scenes with all the different Buzz Lightyears coming together. I thought that scene was going to be like, all right, it's probably a cheap little fun laugh, cool, all right. Maybe Toy Story would actually slip and give us something like that. Totally worked in the movie. Those little buzz. First of all, Tim Allen had to play like what 50 buzzes or whatever it was, and it totally worked. Every single moment that those buzzes was on the screen, I was like, give me more of that. And they were like newer models, so I was like, huh. That's very clever, and it totally worked. Every single moment those buzzes were on screen and interacting with our Buzz, totally worked. Jesse and Buzz's relationship continues to blossom. That was great. Woody showing up. You know, there were rumors. I remember when the Toy Story 5 announcement came out, there were rumors that maybe Woody would be in this movie. And it's like, how are you going to have a Toy Story movie without Woody? And then there's a moment when Woody doesn't show up in this movie. It's like, a little weird, but maybe we can get used to it. But man, honestly, I'm kind of glad he stick around because I can't see Toy Story without Woody. Honestly, even if he's only for screen for 2 seconds, I need to see Woody on screen interacting with everybody, regardless if it's him and Bo Peep or him and the old toys or him and the toys, you know, him and Jesse and Buzz. His relationship with Buzz picks up right where it left off, and it still works. Even when they butt heads to see who's Jesse's deputy, totally works. This isn't the trailer. This is in the trailer. Excuse me. It totally works. I'm like, yeah, Buzz and Woody, they need to be together all the time, and I need to see more of it. And it totally like had a lot of cool moments. You had Conan O'Brien in here playing like this like I guess potty training toy. I'm not really sure what it is, but I don't think I've ever had one. But anyway, crushed it. Totally MVP of the movie. Then you had this navigation device that was also a toy. Totally worked. A camera as well that Jesse meets later on. All three of them together. Totally worked. Comedy gold. Forky, as much as he was the main lead of the last one, his role kind of diminished a little bit. Still worked. Cried at his wedding, so that was in the trailer. Him and the knife. Hilarious as much as screen time he got. The other toys were great too, even though they kind of had smaller screen time than last, but still, it was great. Excuse me, hold on. Sorry. But yeah, everything was great. There's a moment in here when Jesse gets kind of closure about Emily, officially closure, and kind of gives us that answer of what happened to Emily. Totally works. Pulls on the heartstring. I'm like, I didn't even think of that as a thing that could actually happen. Because, we had rumors about what happened to Jesse's original owner, Emily. She was Andy's mom or whatever it was, this and that. Yeah, you can forget all that now. When you watch this movie, you find out what really happens. Like, wow. And then... wow, Jessie was amazing in this movie, and I loved how I keep butchering her name, but the actress who plays Jessie, she was like in her 30s in the original movies, and then she's a little older now. Her voice is so much more mature now. Totally works for this. It completely caught me by surprise. I was like, wow, and it was just beautiful, and I thought it really worked very well. She was the MVP of this movie to me. I always loved Jessie. Jessie was my favorite. Jesse's my favorite character in Toy Story, and she's fantastic. And then again, her relationship with Bonnie, it's like, you can totally tell she cares about Bonnie so much. And then you have Lily Pad. Lily Pad is supposedly the new villain of the movie, but I look at Lily Pad as more of an anxiety type character. If you guys remember, Inside Out 2, Anxiety shows up, played by Maya Hawke in that movie, and she has a purpose. Her purpose is to make Bonnie have kind of have a life outside of the toys, to try to cope her with technology so she can try to start making friends. Because Bonnie in this movie is a little bit more mature than she was in the last movies, because she's a little bit older. I think she's 8 now or 9. I'm not really sure. But anyway, you could clearly tell Bonnie's like still in that child super phase where she's only interested in toys, and she's still shy around friends. But when she gets Lily Pad's supposed to give her that boost of confidence to try to make friends. And then when it kind of goes kind of sideways, I'm not going to spoil what happens, but you clearly tell Bonnie is broken. You clearly tell Bonnie is like upset, and then this Lily Pad's kind of the fault of it, It kind of literally reminded me of what we went through in Inside Out too. So it totally worked, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, Lily Pad was a great character. I hope she sticks around in the next ones. If we get, what am I saying? We're gonna get like a 6 eventually in not 3 years. Anyway, this movie is so good that the Rotten Tomatoes score gave it the lowest rating of any Toy Story movie, a 93%. Now think about that. That is crazy. The bar is so high with these Toy Story movies that the time we get to the point where we're like here, where it's like, Toy Story 8, 9, it was alright, you know, it had some moments. It wasn't memorable. We're not there yet. It has moments. That's over here. These movies are so great, they're up here still, all the way up to the top. Toy Story does not miss. And I'm hoping, I'm knocking on wood, just so that way it continues, so it does not miss, continues to streak. I love these movies. I think it works. It's got humor, emotional moments, adult moments in here. It just totally works in every shape of the form, and I loved it. And I think you guys are going to love it too. If you guys like the other ones, you're going to like this one too. And bring tissues. There are 2 post-credit scenes in here as well. Make sure you go check it out. Take your kids if you have nieces and nephews. They're going to love it, obviously. And yeah, you guys are not going to be disappointed with Toy Story 5 if you guys go see it, especially if you like the other ones. So, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about Toy Story 5. Did you guys enjoy the other ones? Not enjoy this one yet? Haven't seen it yet? Decided you're not going to watch it because you want to wait to Disney Plus. That's fair too. You don't really care for these movies anymore. You gave up after 3. Whatever it is, leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good night.